So ladies and gentlemen, the time has finally come where we get to see the first action of our 2024 Buffalo Bills. That is right, on Saturday at 1 p.m. EST, the Buffalo Bills are facing off against the Chicago Bears. And we've certainly learned quite a bit during training camp, all of the major storylines, the camp battles and competitions. But here are 5 things that I am really hoping to see from the Buffalo Bills on Saturday. Folks, say that you're still struggling trying to figure out where you want to watch the game this Saturday and you don't have tickets. I have the perfect place, and that just so happens to be Batavia Downs, more specifically Club Bud Light at 34 Rush. Now, folks, when we're talking about the perfect football viewing experience, Batavia Downs has it nailed. 30-plus televisions, one of which being the largest I have ever seen in my entire life. Thurman Thomas, who is a proud partner with Batavia, has food specials, drink specials in his honor. I'm telling you what, guys, if you have no plans on Saturday and you want to really elevate your experience cheering on the Buffalo Bills for the first time this season, you have to pull up to Batavia Downs. Buffalo Bills, Chicago Bears, 1 p.m. at Club Bud Light at 34 Rush. So first thing I think all of us want to see is what exactly is Josh Allen going to look like with all of these new pieces. And I think it goes a level deeper. Typically, you would see me as the fan that would wish that Josh Allen was just completely doused in bubble wrap until week 1. And this year is a little different, in my opinion. Not only are we looking at an entire new team offensively, I mean, we have a brand new Curtis Samuel, we have a lot of new free agents we brought in, we have a rookie in Keon Coleman. That's one thing. Obviously, you want our star quarterback to gain as much chemistry with these new pieces as possible. But I'm going to take it a level further. Last year when Joe Brady ended up taking over for the fired Ken Dorsey, he was still utilizing his playbook. A very common misconception is that after Dorsey got fired, Joe Brady was able to pull a college student pulling an all-nighter, draft an entire new playbook, and hit the ground running. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Joe Brady just ended up taking over the play-calling responsibilities, and he was able to pick and choose what plays he thought would work with the current personnel that Buffalo had. This year, Joe Brady has made an entire new system, an entire new playbook, and not only should that get us excited, but we should also be pounding the table that we get as many reps as humanly possible when it comes down into this preseason game on Saturday. Now, I think when it comes to this playbook, we have seen hints. I mean, there was such a drastic change last year from the amount of run plays that we were witnessing compared to our pass plays with the old Dorsey and Dable era. So I feel like we have a good sense of what to expect, but it's really time for Josh Allen to really hone in on this and make sure that it's nothing but perfect for the beginning of the season, because let's be honest with ourselves, we have a gauntlet for the first 6 weeks. Second thing I want to see is the offensive line. Last year, from the grace of the football gods, we actually had a relatively healthy offensive line, and they were wildly consistent when it came into pass blocking and also run blocking. But there is a massive piece that has left our offensive line, and that just so happens to be Mitch Morse. Obviously ended up signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we have Connor McGovern, who is taking over the helm. Now, I understand that he was a center in Penn State. Out of all of his interviews, he says that center is his true position. He's most comfortable there. He's only had 100 snaps professionally at the position. And if any of us were paying attention during training camp, you will know that there was several instances where McGovern was botching the handoff. We've heard that it's going to be a transition period. During one of the interviews where Josh was jokingly saying that he needs to get used to how it feels where his hands are under his ass cheeks. It was all fun and games, but it does actually have some truth to it. I want to see Connor McGovern out there. I want to see him consistently snap appropriately. I don't want any gaffes. I need him to give confidence, instill confidence in the rest of Bills Mafia. Staying on the offensive line, give me some snaps from Cedric Van Pran, right? I was always the lead advocate for if Cedric Van Pran could show splashes, stick him at the center position, rookie or not, and move Connor McGovern back to the left guard position. I like Dave Edwards. I think that he is quality depth. I'm a bit concerned when it comes down into that left side of the offensive line. Red, White, and Bills, who is a great YouTuber, he's always in my live streams, he also pointed out, why the hell would you move away Connor McGovern and Deion Dawkins, who probably had one of the best seasons combined with each other? They just work way too well with each other. So that's also going to be some adjustment. That's going to be some growing pains. So if Cedric Van Pran can go out there, and if Duke can light it up, let's put McGovern back at left guard and roll with the damn rookie, because we need impeccable offensive line play for the second year in a row. Number 3, sticking with offense, I really want to see what this wide receiver room has. I understand that Joe Brady and the Buffalo Bills offensive coaching squad doesn't want to put all of our cards out on the table. Let's be honest with ourselves. I'm sure defensive coordinators are watching highlights, watching film of all of these matchups so that they can start preparing for the regular season. But we have so many unique pieces for the wide receiver room. We finally have a 50-50 ball guy with Keon Coleman, who has been living up to the hype and really putting a lot of naysayers down. Guy in training camp is winning vertically. He's catching absolutely everything. His body control is on full display. I gotta see one play. Give me one play of Keon Coleman absolutely physically bullying a DB out there. I don't need to see a lot, but just give me one of those plays. Same thing when it comes in to Curtis Samuel. We have been hyping up this guy, and a lot of people, particularly rival fan bases, have been laughing that he's quote-unquote our wide receiver number 1, when they refuse to acknowledge that he had his best season as a pro when Joe Brady was his offensive coordinator, where he lined him up with the running backs occasionally, where he ran him out of the slot, where he ran him out on the perimeter. He was wildly effective, the complete Swiss Army knife for an offense. The only thing that dude was ever lacking was quality quarterback play. I want Curtis Samuel to go out there and show us some flashes from outside of the backfield and put his separation and his speed on full display for the entire NFL world. And so on top of that, we have to see what's going on with that wide receiver 6 position. I had a favorite of Chase Claypool making this squad, but the fact that he has a toe injury that's been sidelining him since the 5th practice of the day, a lot of these names are coming up, like Shavers, for example. He has been impressing coaches. He is regularly brought up in post-practice conferences. Does he end up securing that wide receiver 6 spot? So many things to see from our pass catchers. Number 4 is our damn pass rush. Folks, I know that all of us have had a giant weight lifted off of our shoulder when we have been starting to see regular updates on Von Miller being Von Miller. There was a couple of practices this summer where Von Miller would regularly get would-be sacks, QB pressures, hurried whatever quarterback that he was facing out of the pocket. He looked like the Von Miller of old. Can Von Miller do it? Go out there and give a splash play for us. Show us overall just like some defensive prowess. I'm not even sure that he is going to be playing at this time. Forgive me if I am wrong on this, but overall, just this defensive line. We have been seeing so much hype around our rookie Javon Solomon, Greg Rousseau, AJ Epinesa, particularly the middle of the line, Ed Oliver, Daquan Jones. This defensive line is going to be so imperative for the Buffalo Bills' defense success, especially since there's so many question marks around our cornerback depth and then also our starting safety squad. So I just want to be able to see some consistent victories all across the line, because if we can stay healthy this year, if Von Miller is truly back, Ed Oliver picks up exactly where he left off, Gregory Rousseau has a coming out year, watch out for this Bills pass rush. It could be top 5 in the league. And Saturday is going to be the first time where we witness it in person. And last but not least, that safety room, right? I think if you guys have been watching my live streams or my content as of late, you'll know that I am really not a big proponent of the safety position. I really think that it is slowly but surely becoming irrelevant in quality defensive play. As long as a defensive coordinator runs 2 high safety sets, you have a decent pass rush, which we are expecting to have this year, and you have linebackers that excel in coverage. Shout out Bernard Milano and even Dorian Williams, who has been showing splashes. Safeties really are more of a last line of defense. And as you look at the trends of the NFL offense, they're really not stretching the field as much as they used to. So safeties really haven't been a massive concern for me. However, I still want to see them make plays. I think it's safe to say that Taylor Rapp is starting strong safety. It hurts to say, but Cole Bishop ended up fracturing a bone in his shoulder. He's going to be out 6 weeks, which virtually means we're not going to see any significant snaps for the guy, at least until mid-November. But the story here, folks, is Damar Hamlin, all right? Everybody in their mother was laughing at the fact having him as a potential cut this year, but apparently he has been the strongest free safety out on the field. Granted, it probably helps that Mike Edwards has been out with a hamstring injury, but shout out to Damar. He's really going out there, and he is proving his worth that he deserves a 53-man roster spot, and even proving that he might be in the running and the front runner for the free safety position. Now, his coverage can be a tad, I'd say, risky, but he is a tremendous tackler. He is great against the run, and I just want to see him make a couple of plays too and really just see the overall chemistry because we are so used to the Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer days. Give me some sense of security. Now, it's funny because the vast majority of things I want to see are just likely going to be within the first 2 drives per team because I'm talking about all first teamers. Obviously, I'm going to be paying attention to quite a bit of the depth moves. I want to see Javon Solomon. I want to see Dwayne Carter get his overall reps. Show me these rookies, man. Show me that they can be either a glimmer to the future or they can even be day one contributors. I'm super, super excited about this Saturday. And folks, say for example that you want to join me on Saturday giving you my live play-by-play reaction. I will be live at 12:30 p.m. EST prepping for the game. We can sit there, watch the game together. I'll point out things that I see. You point out things that you see within the live chat. I love my live play-by-plays. It's like I'm hanging out with my boys. So if you are subscribed to the channel, it is equally important to turn on that bell notification so you always get updated when I am live. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so pumped for this game coming up on Saturday. If you don't have a place to go, please go ahead and hit Batavia Downs. It's Club Bud Light at 34 Rush. It is the place to watch this game on Saturday if you don't have any other plans, and buckle up because football is back. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the Dom Mafia Report, and before I let you go, you better always remember, let's go Buffalo.